Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode. Today we are going retro. Not the game itself, but the theme. The game was made from 2017 by USAopoly. It is 3 to 6 players ages 8 and up. It is Super Mario Level Up. It is a cool 3D game. So let's head on over to the gamers table and I'll show you how to play. Hi everybody, and here we are at the gamers table. We got Level Up board game. Here we are. I went ahead and I put the board together for you, just to kind of save a little bit of time. That way you don't see me constructing it. It's very, very easy. As you can see, it's a 3D game. And you can see we got the bottom of the box that acts as the base. You have one of each side. This is the sides. You just tell here, they just slide in. You got the back part that has a castle on it. And you also have the levels here. They just slide right in. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. Those act as point values. You also have these lineup cards that every player will receive. You also have these vote up cards, which I will discuss. Power up cards. And you also have the score sheets, which there's not too many of these when you get the game. So you might want to keep that in mind. Either make some copies, maybe you can go online, I'm not sure, but just want to keep that in mind. Because each player receives one of these per game. So just want to let you know about that. And then you have these really cool little boxes with the question marks. We all remember these from Super Mario Brothers. And each one of these will tell you what to do on each one of these little boxes. And then, of course, you have the cast of characters. Now, what's cool about this game, there's 13 of them. They didn't just go with Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Bowser. You have 13 different ones. You got Donkey Kong even in here. Check out Donkey Kong. He's pretty cool. So you got Donkey Kong in here, and you got Yoshi, and you've got, like I said, Princess Peach, Yoshi, Toad, and all sorts of different ones in here. So it's really cool that they did 13 different Nintendo characters, which is awesome. I was a big Nintendo fan when I was a kid, big time. And that is the components of the game. Now, there's two different stages of this game. There's the placement stage and the movement stage. But first and foremost, each person will receive a lineup card. These lineup cards will show 6 of the 13 characters that are in the game. These 6 characters, you're going to try to get up the top as much as you can. You want to get the higher up that you can, because at the end of the stage, there's 3 different rounds in the game. At the end of every round, whatever row your character ends up being on, that is the point value you'll get for them. So you always want to keep this secret. Each player will get one of these. So each player is divvy up one of those. You also get a vote up card. Every player will receive a yes card, and depending on how many players are in the game, they will get no cards. Now, what happens in a 3-player game, everyone always will get a yes, and each player in this situation will get 4 no cards. And I'll show you what those do. Okay, so here we're going to go with the placement stage. Each player is going to place one of these characters. It doesn't have to be one that's on their lineup card. It can be any of the characters up on the stage. Now, you can only place them between the numbers 1 and 4 at the very beginning of this stage. None of them go on 5 or 10, and I'll tell you about 0 in one moment. Each player is going to be putting the exact amount of characters on the board. Okay? So let me show you this. So let's say player 1 decides they're going to put Daisy on 2. Okay? The maximum amount of characters you can put in a row is 4. No more than 4 per row. Okay? Player 2 is going to say, okay, I want to put Mario on 1. And then player 3, I'll put Yoshi on 3. And it goes back to player 1. Player 1 says, okay, I want to put Peach here. And then player 2 goes, okay, I want to put Bowser on 4. And then the next player, which will be player 3, is going to put, puts Waluigi up here. And then it goes back to player 1. Let's see, he's going to put Toad right here. Player 2 puts Luigi. Player 3 puts Donkey Kong. Player 1, player 2, and player 3. Now you'll see each person put a character on there evenly. If you have any characters left over, in this case there will be 1, he or she gets put on 0. And that's how That's the end of the placement stage. So right now you're just placing your characters anywhere on the board. Once that is done, okay, let me put slide these up a little bit. Each player will begin to choose which character they want to bring up one spot. Now, like I said, you do not have to do your own character, and you might not want to just start putting all your characters towards the top because people are going to start thinking, they probably have that character on there. So you can fake it and try to bring one of the characters that you don't have, and then people will go against it. Well, I'll show you how this works. So after each player places a character on the board, you move on to the movement stage. This is the second stage. So now player 1 is going to decide which one do you want to move up, as long as there's no 4 characters in that row. But before we do that, I almost forgot. You're going to put these boxes with the question marks in each space that does not have 4. So they have 3, so 1 goes here. We have 3 on that row, so 1 goes here. There's 3 there, 1 goes here. There's 1 there, so we got to put 1 here. And then you're going to put 4 up on 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's it. So you only put the question marks through 1 through 5, okay? So that would work. Obviously, if you have a 4th character on here, then you would put 2 in this row, like so on. As long as there's 4 of something on each one of the rows from 1 to 5. None of those go on 0, none of them go on 10, okay? Now we're ready to do that. So now we're ready to, player 1 can place one of the characters up top. Now, player 1 is going to look at their card and see who he has on his card. Luigi, Bowser, Peach, and so on. So he's going to say, I'm going to go ahead and put Bowser 1. So you're going to bring him up 1 space. Once you bring up to the level 5 here, you can choose any one of these question marks to choose from. I'll go ahead and choose this one. This one says, worth 2 points at the end of the game. Well, that's nice. That's very self-explanatory. That's a really good thing to have. So you're going to go ahead and player 1 is going to put that in front of himself. Okay, he gets the 2 points at the end of the round. Or the end of the game, I should say. So now player 2 is going to look and say, okay, this is player 2's list. Okay, so you can see he actually has Donkey Kong on there. He has Mario, he has Daisy, and so on, Yoshi. So he's going to go ahead and decide, okay, I want to go ahead and, let's see. And if you don't know the characters, just want to show you, the name of the character is on the back. So in case you can't remember any of the characters, the names are on the back. So say he goes, I want to put Diddy Kong up 1. So he's going to go ahead and move him up to 2. He's going to grab one of these, and it says, go down a level, play at any time. So you can actually put any one of these characters down a level whenever you feel like you want to play it. So you can hang on to that. So player 2 is going to go ahead and hang on to that. Now you go on to player 3. Player 3 is going to look at their lineup card and see who they have. Bowser, Yoshi, Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong. He's going to take a peek and see what he wants to move. So let's just say he moves, let's see. He's going to go ahead and move Yoshi up to 4. So he's going to get this last question mark, and this says, skip your next turn, play immediately. So not all these are good. You might get some that are bad. So obviously player 3, the next time around, is not going to get a turn. That's a bummer. So now player 1's going to look, and he sees, oh, I have Bowser on there. So let's just say he decides to throw Bowser up there. Dun, 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 dun. Now, once a player or character reaches the 10th point row, each player is going to vote whether they want Bowser to be the championship of that round. So what each player is going to do is they're going to look and they're going to decide whether they want to vote yes or no. At the end, as soon as everyone has decided how they want to vote, let me put this back a little farther, that way you can see the votes here. Each player is going to put their card face down. Okay? So let's just say this is the deal. So player 1, player 2, and player 3 have now put their cards down. Now what you're going to do is it has to be unanimous. If all 3 players say yes, then Bowser would be the champion of that round, and I'll show you how the points go. So each player, let's see, we got yes. We got to vote for yes. Obviously, he'd want yes because Bowser is on his card. Okay. Player 2 and player 3 is going to look at their cards. Okay. I'm going to do this way. So say player 3 is also going to say yes because Bowser is on their card as well. But guess what? Player 2 doesn't. They vote no. Okay. So Bowser is now taken out of the game. He is placed out of the game. And these two players will get their yes cards back. Okay. They get their yes cards back. And the player that voted no now loses this card for the rest of the game. So now they only have 3 no's to vote with instead of 4. This goes out of the game completely. So you really need to pick and choose when you use these no cards because you only have so many of these. Okay. All right. So now we're back to these players here. There we go. And now we continue on. So player 3 didn't get a chance. They didn't win this one. So now the next one's going to say, okay, I want Donkey Kong to go up to 5. He grabs one of these. Go up a level. Play immediately. So say he wants to take a chance and put Donkey Kong up here. So now everyone's going to vote who they want if they want Donkey Kong to win that level. And we're going to put all your cards face down like so. Okay. Just like so. So now you got player 1 says yes, player 2 says yes, and player 3 says yes. So guess what? Donkey Kong is the champion of the first round. So what you're going to do if this happens, if you want to, you can do it this way, is you can put it right over this, and you can actually score the points for each one of the players that are on the board. So eventually, this will be moved up here. Say this moves up here, this moves up here, Luigi goes up here, and so on. So you have all the different point values. So for instance, in this case, Luigi would get you 2 points. So you put 2 for round 1. Then you look at Bowser. Where's Bowser? Well, unfortunately, Bowser got kicked out, so you get 0 for Bowser. Then you have Peach. Peach is on row 3, so you get 3 points for Peach, and so on. So that's how that would work. So Wario, you can see Wario's on 4. You put 4. Toad is on 1, so you get 1 point. And then Diddy Kong is, there's Diddy Kong. He's on row 2. And what you do is you add up all the points, and that will be your total for the first round. Okay, that's how that works. Pretty darn cool, huh? Now, when you get the power-up cards, these will actually tell you whether you get a power-up card. Let me show you. Here it goes. Draw a power-up card, play immediately. Okay, so if you get one of those, that's when the power card comes into play. You can pull this and say, 1-up, return an eliminated character back to level 0. So that would work out great in case Bowser was one of your people. One of your characters, you can put him back into the game and put him at 0. That's one of the cards. You also have a swap 2 characters anywhere on the board, but it cannot be on the top level, obviously. So you can swap out any 2 players on the board and place them anywhere else on the board and swap them out with 2 players. You got those. Cancel another player's vote. That could be pretty huge. So this is a card you can hang on to, and you want to play it at the end of one of the rounds. You can actually do that as well. And then play as a no vote. Instead of being eliminated, the character is placed on level 0. So this will actually give you an extra no card. So that's actually a pretty powerful one as well. So instead of being eliminated, it goes back to 0. So if that's one of your characters that are being voted off, you can keep them in the game and use this card. So there it is, pretty much in a nutshell. After the first level is, or after the first round is complete, everyone gets taken back off. Oops, woo, as I tear up the board. All the characters get taken off, like so. Any eliminated characters get back into the game. Okay, all these get taken off, obviously. Okay, alrighty. And then what you'll do is the lineup cards will be taken out. Let me put these back. Everyone gets their yes cards back. And any no cards you lost in the first round, obviously you do not get it back in the second round. And everyone will get new lineup cards. You got another new lineup card here, and so on. So, and then you start all over again. You start placing the characters on the board. And then you go to the movement stage. You can move one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, until someone reaches 10. You throw up the votes. If there's one vote that's no, that character gets eliminated from the game, unless, like I just showed you, unless you have a special card putting it back in the game. And then you continue on your way up until another character makes it to 10. You do another vote. If it's a unanimous vote that everyone says yes, it's unanimous. Hey, we all wanted to be the champion. Then that is set in stone, and then you add up all the characters and the numbers on there. And whoever has the most points after 3 rounds wins the game.